Hey everybody, welcome back to the School of Rock Back to School Miniseries. This is episode 2 in a series that covers 3 rock songs that appear in the movie The School of Rock. In the movie, Mr. Schneebly asks Zack if he's ever played an electric guitar before. And Zack said no, his dad wouldn't let him play an electric guitar because it's a waste of time. But deep down, Zack knew that an electric guitar was best for him. To make sure you're not wasting any time and that you're playing the guitar that's best for you, go ahead and take the free guitar type quiz by clicking the link in the description or by going to zacksharguitar.com. It just takes a minute and it'll give you personalized results based on your unique preferences. A free PDF guide that will take you to mastering your guitar goals is also available in the description and at zacksharguitar.com. In lesson 2, we're going to be covering Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. Smoke on the Water happens to be the most common rock riff that people learn, especially when they're just starting out. Keep in mind that this riff, like the other riffs in this mini-series, is going to be the version that is played in the School of Rock movie. This depiction of Smoke on the Water isn't necessarily how Deep Purple plays it, but it's how Zack plays it in the School of Rock, and it's how this Zack is going to teach you. Make sure you subscribe so you get to learn the next song that appears in this mini-series. Let's get rockin'. So this riff is made entirely of power chords. Power chords are one of my favorite types of chords to recommend to beginners because they are simple, movable, and pack a massive sound. These types of chords are often depicted as whatever the chord's root note is, followed by the note that is 5 scale degrees away from that root. And on paper, this can look like whatever the root is, followed by the number 5. So now I'm going to show you how to play the power chords that are used in the Smoke on the Water riff. Try to lock the names of each power chord down and try to also lock in where those chords appear on the guitar. So that way we can piece this all together when we're playing the main riff in the final step. The first chord is an A5 chord. All you have to do is play the open A string, and then use your index finger to play the 2nd fret of the D string. Put that all together, you get this. Next is a C5 chord, so you're going to put your index finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. And then for this, you can either use your ring finger or your pinky and play the 5th fret of the D string. Put that together and you get this. So this C5 chord shape and all the other chord shapes I'm going to show you for the remainder of this riff are going to look exactly the same, okay? So I'm going to show you the next one. That is a D5 chord. So we're going to jump up, same position, but put your index finger on the 5th fret of the A string and put your pinky or your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string. And here you go. So if you play the first 3 chords in sequence, you already get a big chunk of the first part of this riff. The last power chord is an E flat power chord. So that's just 1/2 step up from the D5 we just played. So put your index finger on the 6th fret of the A string, and then put your pinky or your ring finger on the 8th fret of the D string. And here's what you get when you put it together. Alright, so now that we've got all the chords locked down, I can show you what they look like in the actual riff of Smoke on the Water. So for the first part of this riff, you're just going to play that A5, C5, and D5 chord in sequence like this. Notice how when you reach that D5 chord, it's held twice as long as the duration of those first two chords. So from here, jump back to that A5 chord and then follow it up with the C5 chord. This will start to look like a pattern from what we just played before that, but instead of going right to the D5 from here, we're actually going to jump to the E flat 5 and quickly bring it down to the D5. So I'm going to show you from the top what that looks like. From here, we're going to play the A5, the C5, and the D5 once more. Now all we have to do is finish the riff in a descending fashion by going to the C5 and then the A5. You can let that A5 just ring out. So now I'm going to play the whole thing up to speed. Try to play along with me if you can. So if you've been with us since episode 1 of this mini-series, you now have 2 iconic riffs under your belt that you can show your friends and your family. Make sure you get the hang of that rhythm, and make sure that the notes of each chord you're playing are accurate to how I showed you. You may need to work separately on the rhythm and the chords before bringing them all together in this rockin' riff. To make sure that you're shredding the gnar on the right guitar, don't forget about that free quiz. And also, to take your playing to the next level, don't forget about that free practice guide. Links for both the quiz and the guide will be in the description, and you can also find them at zacksharguitar.com. Have fun with this and let me know if you have any questions. And if you're like me, I know that the back to school season is not fun at all, so I hope that this mini series can add a little fun to this time of year. And if you enjoy being back in school, or if you're not in school, or whatever your situation is, I hope this still brings some fun to you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Zach with Zack Guitar, and I will see you in the next one.